Hello and welcome. Oh, bit rough. Hello and welcome back to the FPL deadline streams with me ahead of the double game week 7. A big, huge week for FPL with plenty of flags, double game weeks, injury crisis. It's just got it all. It has just got it all. I can see we've got some regular people in the chat as well. Already my co-host of the Wednesday night streams, Jake, is in the chat. I know we had a chat last night about some dilemmas he's got, so I imagine he's got some questions for me. We've got some people in the TikTok chat as well. Hello. The best thing that you guys can do is come over to the YouTube stream. You get to see my face a little bit better. You get to see all my team. You get to see kind of all the analytics, all that good stuff. But if you want to stay on TikTok, please do like, follow, ask any questions. I will try and get kind of round to it. And if you are on TikTok as well, just keep smashing that like button. It pushes it out to more people and it is great. Right, that TPS player as well. I remember you from last week's kind of raid that we had from FPL Focal, which if you weren't in the end of last week's stream was absolutely amazing. So massively appreciative to him for last week for that. So any new subscribers or any new followers on TikTok, welcome. Welcome to these deadline streams. Josh AFC as well. Hi mate, how are you doing? If you do have any questions about your team, do get them in. We also will be reviewing your teams live on stream as well. So all you have to do for that is go over to my Twitter, go to my pinned tweet at FPLTom_. If you leave your team there, we will be reviewing some of your teams a little bit later on in the stream. But yeah, there's lots of questions this week. I imagine we're going to get lots of questions. Aaron Hunt, hi mate, how are you doing? Do keep your questions coming in. I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm good, thank you. It did really hit a peak last week, didn't it? It did really hit a peak last week, and we enjoyed that. James Lockwood's asked the score prediction for Mansfield today. I think I'm gonna go. Hang on, let me look at their recent form. We're obviously smashing it at the moment. They're doing really well though, aren't they? As well, they're right up there. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Mansfield. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Mansfield. I think I went that last week and we won not 1-0, but I feel 2-1. But yeah. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. If you are on the TikTok stream, the best thing that you can do is come over to YouTube. You get to see my team, you get to see all my data, and we will be reviewing your teams live on stream as well at FPLTom_. If you want to leave your team in my pinned tweet, we will be reviewing them a little bit later on. Hello, Sean, mate. Saturday mornings and FPL Tom streams, they just do go hand in hand. I prefer the Friday ones because I don't sound as less tired or croaky. We've had some questions about should I free hit. Depends what your team looks like. It really depends what your team looks like, how many injuries you've got, what kind of situation there is. But there's definitely some kind of aspects that I definitely think this week a free hit could be advantageous. Very much so. Jake's winding people up, by the way, in the chat. He is a Liverpool fan, so don't take his advice too seriously because it's going to be a massive Spurs win today. Richard's activated his wild card as well. All Arsenal and Manchester United players gone. I think some you should potentially consider some Manchester United assets. To be honest, Richard, they definitely have some really good fixtures. I know they don't look great, but there's definitely some. Prefers the Friday stream as he gets an early finish from work. The part timer. Hey lad, I'm always finishing early at work. What are you on about? Hi Jack, I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. Yeah, it has been a very stressful week with these players. I'm not gonna lie. There's lots of other questions. Having Son is a bad shout. Predictions for the Villa game? I think it's going to be 0-0. I can't remember what I put for this week. Am I risking Saka? Yeah. I'm risking Saka. Right, I think we've kind of done enough foreplay. Let's dive into how my team's looking. If you're on TikTok and you want to come over to the YouTube channel, FPL Tom, you can see my team live on screen right now. Obviously, I'll read it out and you can kind of pick up little bits, but it's just a lot easier, isn't it? The chat moves quite a lot slower as well on YouTube as well. So if you do want to come over to the YouTube channel, I can probably answer your question a little bit better as well. And I know a lot of people have a lot of questions this week, a lot of big dilemmas. So if you want to come over to the YouTube channel, that is the best thing that you can do. Nicholas has asked, Gordon a good shout to bring in for Sterling? I don't think right? I don't think personally I would be looking to take Sterling out this week. I just think he's going to play up front. I genuinely think he might play up front. And Fulham are really bad in terms of XG conceded. Obviously, Chelsea haven't been scoring goals. So it's a little bit of one of them. Ghost St. Patrick's asked, Rashford or Son, the free hit. I dropped Sterling. Rashford or Son? I'd probably go Son. Saka or Bowen? Probably Bowen. The biggest dilemma, what 3 PM game would you choose to watch? Mate, we're watching Luton. As soon as you get home, we're watching Luton, pal. We are watching Luton. Cool. Someone's asked, will we get early team news from Arsenal before the deadline? Probably, but I don't want to put it out there that we definitely will. Matoma and Estepinian start? I don't know. I don't know about Estepinian. He played 90 minutes in midweek, which is ridiculously high, so I'm not 100% sure on that one. Do I think Sterling will do well? I actually do. I think he's probably been the brightest player for Chelsea so far this season. So I think he might do any not too bad. Yeah, if I can get my words out. Latest news on Saka and Maddison. Saka was pictured at the team hotel in Bournemouth, and Maddison, he's trained. That's about all I've got at the moment. That is all I've got at the moment. What's been going off in the YouTube chat? Best players to transfer in. Depends who you've got in your team, but the double game week players. I think if you are looking to wildcard in 9 or 10, definitely double game week players. Morris, Kabore, players like that, they'll definitely be good options. I think Son as well is a really good option with the Spurs fixtures coming up. Luton and Fulham back to back is absolutely brilliant. I think any Newcastle defenders, Trippier's a great shout. Matty Cash, any Villa players as well with their fixture run coming up. Those are kind of my top priorities that I'd be going for. Son and Botman news, both have apparently trained, but that's about as much as we've got. There was a guy who I don't know about his reliability, but he was basically saying on Twitter today that Botman is going to start. So it's one of them. He was right last week, and if he's right again this week, then he does become a trusted source. I think the Spurs keeper's fine. I've heard absolutely nothing on that. Christy Pym in the middle of our goal. Christy Pym is an absolute goat, mate. Will Ferguson start? I think so. He's recovered from his illness that he had last week, so I definitely think he might start. Any news on Saka or Saliba? They are both at the team hotel, or were both pictured at the team hotel. People are sending me the team as well, which is absolutely great. If you want to get involved with that and send me your team at FPLTom_ on Twitter, go to my pinned tweet, leave your team there, and it will be reviewed live on the YouTube stream. So, if you are on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to that. But if you want to stay on TikTok, smash that like button, give us a follow, all that good stuff. Right. Let's have a look at my team. I'm going to have a drink of water first. And then we're going to take a look at my team. So, for this game week, we've gone with Turner in goal over Johnson. I just think that's the better option. Then we have Botman with his flag, but I think he's going to be fine and plays. Then we've got Kabore with the double, Everton and Burnley. Then Estepinian, who I think might see a potential little bit of rotation or might potentially come off early. Hopefully it's the latter of those two. Then we've got Mbeumo, then we've got Bruno Fernandes, then we've got Maddison with a flag, but I think he'll play. Saka with a flag. I'm not 100% sure whether or not he's going to play, whether or not Arteta risks him with City next week, Champions League as well. Does he risk him? It just seems a bit of a wet fixture, Bournemouth way to risk one of your top players for the season, unless it's not that serious of an injury. Just something I just potentially feel there. And then my transfer in this week is Son. I've done Son to Eze so far. There might be a minus depending on early team news. So if we get news that Estepinian is going to be benched, I probably would do then Chilwell to Cash. I'm still thinking I might do it anyway for a -4 and bench Estepinian, but we're going to have to wait and see on that one. So there might be a minus coming. There might be a little bit of spice coming along the lines. But you know what? For the time being, we're sticking with the one transfer. We've gone with Son. We're being very bullish on Spurs. We're fully backing them next week and the week after. Probably the week after that. Maybe if I game week 10 wildcard, 1 or 2 of their assets will come out. But yeah, we're going for a very kind of bullish Spurs performance against Liverpool, against Luton, and against Fulham. So that's what we've done so far. We've not taken any hits, but, you know, there might be hits. There might be hits depending on team news. So that is the team so far. If you are on TikTok, like I said, if you want to come see my team, come over to the YouTube channel. That is the best thing that you can do. We'll also be reviewing your teams live on stream a little bit later. So if you want to get them sent in, at FPLTom_. Jensen's asked, start Kabore or Adoji. I'll be starting Kabore. Harvey's asked, Captain Morris or Haaland. I think just stick with Haaland. Like, Wolves away is a great fixture. It's a great fixture. I don't think there's any reason to go against that. Evans asked, hi mate, should I replace Saka, and if so, who with? It depends what your plans are. Like, I think he's going to play. He doesn't have a great record away from home anyway. And probably the only player that I'd maybe look to replace him with is like one of like Bowen, maybe Ward-Prowse. Son would probably be my top options that I'd go for. Right, we've had plenty of questions in the YouTube chat, so let's have a read through some of those. Is Visser worth keeping? I think so for this week. I know Brentford haven't looked great, but if you do have other priorities in your team, I think a playing player is probably not one that you want to be removing, so I'd keep Visser. Someone's asked, my midfielders are Mbeumo, Son, Maddison and Bruno, and my strikers are Haaland, Alvarez and Morris, and I have Saka in the substitutes. What do I do? I'm so confused. I think you've probably got that right. Alvarez might see a little bit of a drop today, but, you know, we'll see how that one goes. Someone sent me their team on Twitter. Great. I'll go check them out in a little bit. Ake was subbed early in the cup. Do you think he starts today? Good question. Good question. How did City line up last week is the real question. And then I can answer that one a little bit more effectively. So let's go back to last week. When did City play? Was it Saturday or Sunday? They played on Saturday. And did Ake play? Yeah, I'm not sure about Ake. I don't think he'll start today now. FPL Cams asked, Saka to Son or Mbama to Morris and bench and Mbeumo. Ooh, that is difficult. It depends what your plan is, FPL Cam. Like, if you're looking to wildcard in like 9 or 10, I don't think Morris is going to become a big issue. But you might be just kind of stuck on your bench, like an extra mil on your bench that you don't really want for the like foreseeable future. If you're looking to delay that wild card, that potentially could become an issue. And I definitely think with the Spurs fixtures coming up, Saka to Son could be a very fit transfer. Nick Sachs asked, I've got Leno and Areola and I have no idea which one start. Chelsea not scored in last 3 and Leno makes lots of saves, but Areola against Sheffield United. I think you play Areola against Sheffield United. That would be my personal opinion. But I can 100% see why. Like, FPL seem to be absolutely loving Leno at the moment. Really, really just absolutely rock solid for him. Giving him bonus points willy-nilly like they did last week. Even though Johnson was the better performer. Just tin pot from FPL. But yeah, I think I'd stick with Areola on that one. Jack's asked for his team to be reviewed. Onana, Botman, Kabore, Tarkowski, Foden, Saka, Salah, Rashford, Bowen, Alvarez and Haaland. What do I think? Very good. Very good. Anderson in defence or Maddison in midfield? I'd play Maddison. I would play Maddison there. Do I bring in a tricky winger in this week? Double game week. He's on a yellow flag. And after this crazy night. Hi, mate. Who do I start? One for Estepinian, Cash or Doji? I'd probably go Cash, right? Just because Villa are the home team. So I think that makes the most sense. Back the home team to get a clean sheet. I think he also might get a clean sheet or an attacking return in that game as well. So yeah, I'd do that. Is Diego Jota a good shout? No, not personally. I think it will be a front three of Nunez, Salah and Diaz. I think that will be the front three. On our wildcard, should I keep Estepinian on my bench or bring in Dallo for Estepinian and get Estepinian in a few game weeks later? I know like a lot of the United kind of players have become quite appealing because they're so cheap and there's like so little players available. But like, it doesn't convince me that they're going to be able to keep clean sheets. And I get your point about Estepinian. It depends how much value you've got tied in him as well. Like, I think I've got quite a bit tied in him already. So I probably would keep him because I think game week 11 onwards, yeah, I think the Brighton fixtures are immense. So yeah. Roller transfer or sell Saka to Bowen/Diaby. That is tough. That is tough. I really like Bowen as an option, to be honest. Sheffield United is a great fixture. Diaby with the fixtures coming up for Villa, but I wouldn't bring him in because, like, realistically, yeah, he might get a goal against Brighton today, but longer term, you know, the fixtures are great, but they got Europa League midweek, so might pick up a little bit of an injury. Same goes for Bowen as well, so maybe it could be one of them where you hold next week, but then would you want to bring in Bowen next week? Probably not. Just one of them. But yeah. Jeff's asked how I'm doing. I'm doing good, mate. And no, I'm not on a wild card. This is my team. We've made one transfer. We've gone Eze to Son. That is the only thing that I've done. No wild card this week. We're holding it till either game week 9, 10 or 19. That's the plan. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Up the Stags. That's right. Mansfield shirt in the back there for YouTube and there for TikTok. We're getting a massive dub against Gillingham today. If you are on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube channel. You get to see my team on screen right now. It's a little bit easier for me to ask questions as well on there, but yeah. What's in the back of the Mansfield shirt? That doesn't quite make sense. Ask me that again. I took a -8 for Botman, Burnt and Son. All seem to be injured. Nah, I think all are going to play. Botman's probably the riskiest one because the comments around a knee injury are just a little bit too sus. But yeah, I think other than that, I think you'll be fine. Would you go Rashford to Maddison this week or wait until next week? I have no Spurs and priced out of Son. Yeah, I'd go next week. Especially with like the potential risk that he might not play. I personally think going next week makes a lot more sense. What about Nunes? Been ticking along nicely now and becoming more consistent. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think when Liverpool's fixtures turn in game week 8, 9, he might become a little bit of an option. But obviously with them having Europa League, and you know, he only sees about 60, 70 minutes per game. So that is the big risk. Hey Luke, a regular of these streams and the Wednesday streams as well. So absolute goat for him. Oh, what's on the back of that Stag shirt? Absolutely nothing on that one. But the one I was wearing last week in stream has Akins on the back. You know, just have to. Shane's asked, is it worth going for any double game week players? I think if you have Kabore, play him. I think Carlton Morris is the top pick. Anyone outside of that, I'm not really too hot on. I've been kind of eyeing up Adoni this week from Burnley. He looked quite bright in the United game, but again, yeah, I think it's a bit of a pongy double. It is a little bit of a pongy double. Did you see my team stream crashed? Depends where you've sent it me, Jack. If you sent it me on Twitter, then I probably will go and check that out in a minute. Do you reckon Estepinian gets rotated today? I don't think he will, but I'm just putting it out there that that might be a potential situation we might see in the next few weeks, to be honest. That Estepinian might see a little bit more rotation. Just putting it out there. Riley Davis, rate my team, please. Onana, Trippier, Botman, Kabore, Adoji, Maddison, Rashford, and Buemo, Foden, Haaland, Alvarez. Very strong. Very strong. Tom, play Estepinian or Colwell. I think I'd go Colwell. There, Luke. Pick 2 from Gordon, Diaby, Bowen. Probably Gordon and Bowen. That TPS player has just said Gillingham will win today. No, they won't. No, they won't. No, they won't. Jeff's asked João Pedro to Morris and Saka to Son for free. Hell yeah. I'd go for that. I'd go for that. Oh, you support a rival of Gillingham. I'll let you off. I'll let you off then. I'll let you off. Play Pickford or Raya this week. Ooh, I mean, if you've got Pickford, you're surely thinking this is the week he's going to get a clean sheet. So I'd probably play Pickford. I'll probably play Pickford. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. If you want to send me your team on Twitter as well, we will be reviewing those live on the stream, on the YouTube stream. So if you're on TikTok at FPLTom_, come over to the YouTube stream. You get to see, your team reviewed live on stream. Hi Hayden. Hi Louis. Saliba or Botman, even though they're both injured. I'd probably play Botman this week. Newcastle at home. And then if he doesn't play, I don't think he's going to come on at any point. So, you know, that would be great. Who's going down in League 2? Tranmere, mate. 100%. And probably Sutton. On my bench, I have Estepinian, Archer, Adoji. Whom would I start? Probably Estepinian out of all of those. Should I take Rashford out for Bruno? No. Reece Nelson a punt for a week? I think only if we get early team news. If we don't get early team news, then no. Stag score 2-1. Goal scorers will be Kelly Dunn and Akins. And probably Ollie Hawkins for them if he's fit. Oh yeah, I said Botman. I said Botman, mate. Max has asked, do I have the new FIFA? No, I don't have the new FIFA. Katie's asked, would you bring Son in? I already have, so yes, I would bring Son in. Especially with the good fixtures coming up. No worries. I don't have EAFC or FIFA or whatever it's called. No. Would you bring Saka in? No, I would not be looking to bring Saka in, to be honest. Captain Son or Maddison next game week? I think I'm probably leaning more towards Son. I think he's just got that explosivity. I spoke about it a few game weeks ago, actually. I feel that Son has that ability where he could just massively just explode like he has done over the past few weeks. So, yeah. I have Rashford and Mbeumo, Maddison, Diaby and James Ward-Prowse. Who would you bring Son in for? Ooh, good question. You could wait for Son for next week and see how Rashford gets on this week in United with their good fixtures, and see how Mbeumo gets on because he plays United next week. Because it's one of them. So I think maybe you could roll it into next week because that midfield's pretty strong, to be honest, already. So I definitely think you could roll that, Katie. Do you think Botman is starting? I think so. There's been a guy on Twitter kind of talking about it for the past few days. He seems pretty reliable as well, so I think so. Luke sent me his team on Twitter. If anyone else wants to send me their team on Twitter to be reviewed live on the YouTube stream at FPLTom_. If you're enjoying either of the streams as well, do give it a like, comment, and follow, subscribe, all that good nonsense. Yeah, all that good rubbish. I have Neto, but still thinking of a switch since it's a home, or should I stick with him? What are Wolves' like long-term fixtures like? That's a good question. Let's have a look at that for you then, John. And then we'll go review some people's teams. Then we'll go review your teams. So last call, get your teams in at FPLTom_ on Twitter if you want your team. If Mbeumo blanks this game week, is he worth getting rid of? Yeah, 100%. 100%. Villa, Bournemouth. It's a little bit... Yeah, I don't think I'd stick with Neto. I know he's been incredible, but I just can't get behind players that don't have great fixtures. Right. No worries, John. I'm a fan of Mansfield. That kit back there. Salison and Mbeumo, Maddison. That one flew. What did I think of the Copenhagen Ultras? They were great. They were really good. Like, for the whole game, pretty much. They were outside the ground, like, 3.5 hours before kickoff, which was absolutely mental. Highly recommend if anyone is looking for a place to go watch football. Denmark, even on holiday as well. Denmark is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Not going to lie. Right. If you want to send me your teams on Twitter at FPLTom_, go to my pinned tweet, leave your team there. That is the best thing you can do because we're going to review them now live on the YouTube stream. Looks like we've had quite a few sent in already. So I'm going to go to my profile. We'll do it that way, I think. And make sure we get them all. Right, this is FPL Cam's team. He's got 1.6 million in the bank and 1 free transfer, and he's asking me what to do. That is a difficult one. That is a difficult one. You could go Mbama to Morris, but then who would you realistically drop out of that? I think that team could be potentially fine, for this game week, mate. And you could just roll that transfer into next week because you probably want to do Saka to Son with the Spurs good fixtures coming up. I know then you're going to have triple Spurs, but if you're looking to wildcard as well in 9 or 10, you can easily get them back out. But, Luton, Fulham, 8 and 9 is really, really good. So that potentially could be some options there. Maybe Julian Alvarez gets benched this week as well. So, you might need an alternative. But I think if I was to make a transfer, it would be Mbama to Morris if you've got enough money to do that now. You might not have enough. But other than that, I think I'd roll. I genuinely think I'd roll. I think that team's strong enough for this week. Jack United, his team is here. Areola, Botman, Digne, Akanji, Bowen, Foden, Rashford, Bruno, Højlund, Haaland, Antonio. Ooh, different. Like it. And then Saka on the bench. Yeah, I don't think I'd change too much about that. I think that's a very good team, Jack, to be honest. Obviously, if you don't feel confident that Saka's going to play, I don't think there's anyone that I'd potentially be gutted as well taking out of this team. So I think you've definitely done the right thing there, to be honest, mate. Definitely done the right thing. Why is it not showing anyone else's teams, which is really annoying? That is really annoying. Right. Let's have a look. Joelinton, the GOAT, has sent me his team. He's wildcarded. He's got Areola, Kabore, Trippier, Tarkowski, Salah, Gordon, Maddison, Bowen, Haaland, Julian Alvarez, Morris, Diaby and Cash for the good fixtures coming up. I really like this team, to be honest. I think this is super strong. My only concern is you don't have Son. And I really would like to have Son in that team, to be honest. Yeah. But it's one of them. You've got Maddison. But I definitely think this is a very strong wildcard team. I really like that, mate. Really like that. Ethan sent me his team. Oh, actually, no, we're going to do this one next. FPL King, if you're in the TikTok or the YouTube chat, reviewing your team right now on stream. He's got Onana, Akanji, Botman, Gabriel, Trippier, Maddison, and Mbeumo, Foden, Saka, Morris, Haaland captain. Benching Sterling. Oof. That's heavy. That is heavy. That is very heavy. You know what, mate? I think I'd rather play Sterling over Mbeumo here, FPL King. I genuinely think I'd rather play Sterling over Mbeumo. Just because Sterling's potentially going to be playing up front and he could be a really explosive asset this game week. So I think I'd do that. I think I'd play Sterling over Mbeumo. That would be my suggestion there, mate. Ethan sent me his team, 1 mil in the bank and 1 free transfer. When you do send me your teams, guys, if you want to send me 1 free transfer, 1 mil in the bank, whatever, that does help me make my decisions a little bit easier. Then we don't have to have a bit of a back and forth going off as well. So he's got 1 million in the bank, 1 free transfer. No Spurs players, which, well, apart from a Doji, that could be a concern. But I think I'd hold this team this week, and then you could do Saka to Son next week. That could be a really good move that you could make. Or you could potentially look to downgrade Chilwell this week, maybe to a Matty Cash with their good fixtures. I think that potentially could be something to do. Frees up a little bit more money as well. And then you might have just enough to go maybe Saka to Salah if you want to go down that route. Or, Saka to Son, that potentially could be one. Or Mbeumo to Son as well. That could really free up some funds for you there. So, or Maddison as well in that slot. So I think maybe this week you take Chilwell out for Cash as your free transfer. And then go into next week looking to get one of these Spurs attackers in, Ethan. I think that would be my suggestion there for you, mate. Edgeworth has sent me his team. Oh, apparently they've deleted the tweet. Oh, well. He sent it me again. It's all right. It's okay. Don't worry. Edgeworth has sent me his team again. 1 free transfer, 0.4 in the bank. Botman, Trippier, Bell, Diaby, Salah, Doku. Ooh. Spicy. And Mbeumo, Julian Alvarez, Haaland, and Morris. Is Doku going to play? Is he realistically going to play? That's the big one for me. That'd probably be the only player that I would swap for Saka. Maybe Diaby, like, unless you really fancy him to do something really good against Brighton. They haven't kept a clean sheet yet, so definitely could be something that, you know, could be exploited this game week. If you are on TikTok, we are currently reviewing teams live on the YouTube stream. If you want to send me yours, at FPLTom_, and we are reviewing them live on the stream. So, yeah. We've done Ethan, we've done that one. Right. Okay. If I have missed any of your teams, I do apologise. Some reason they don't always show. Like, they're just really weird. Like, if you look on the screen right now, it just shows me 2. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm chatting. Josh has sent me his team. He's got Edison, Botman, Trippier, Cash, Ward-Prowse and Buemo Sterling, Saka with a flag, Haaland, Alvarez, Watkins, and Maddison Adoji on the bench. Ooh. I just don't feel comfortable with Maddison on the bench, you know. I just don't feel comfortable with Maddison on the bench for that team. Very strong City contingent, full triple. I think I'd still go Areola with the home fixture. I always back a home team for a clean sheet over going for an away one. But yeah, I don't know who I'd put in here for Maddison. So I think you've got all the decisions the right way around. Maybe Watkins for Maddison, but again, I think that's just down to personal preference. Nothing other than that. Just a bit of personal preference. Tubby has sent me his team. Love that. 2 free transfers. You could do, like I said, Chilwell to Cash would potentially be 1. Maybe then take 2 into next week. So Chilwell to Cash, take 2 into next week. Then you can see who's not performed. Maybe Rashford or Bruno have not kind of performed the team again. Take Saka out for Son. Maybe Mbeumo to Diaby. That potentially could be something there. So I think I'd do Chilwell to Cash this week. And then maybe look to do something else next week with 2 free transfers again. Really attack that next game week. Show more replies. Z1721640. This is his team. He's played his wild card. Turner, Edison, Saliba, Botman, Baldock, Adoji, Kabore, Saka, and Mbeumo, Sterling, Salah, Maddison, Julian Alvarez, and Mbama. I think if you're going to have Baldock in there, you might as well have Charlie Taylor. At least he's going to play this game week. At least he's going to play and he's not fully flagged. Just a thought. Just a thought that you potentially could do. And I don't think I'd have Saka on a wild card. I think I'd have a Son. I'd have Son in that position. I would not have Mbeumo either. I'd have Diaby here. That would be what I'd do with that wildcard team. If you are playing it. It says you played it. Or not. Or if you've only got 1 free transfer. It's a little bit confusing. It might look like you just have 1 free transfer. If that's the case, 1 free transfer. I think your team's in a good enough position for this game week, to be honest. So I'd probably hold. I think I'd probably hold and take 2 into next week. Where should I post my team? If you leave it under my pinned tweet, that's the best place you can leave it. Luke sent me his team. We're always chatting, me and Luke. If you want to send me DMs about your team, or if you just want to send me DMs in general, you know, they're not, you know, I'm a single man. I don't have a lot of DMs flying in. So if you want to send me your team, I'll probably reply in the week. Probably. And if there are any women watching and you want to actually send me a DM, that's fine. That's fine. You know, you get to, you know, be part of this cool thing that we're building here. And maybe one day you'll make it in the back of one of these videos and get asking people questions. Maybe. Or maybe not. Who knows? Saka's Bruno? No, wouldn't do that. Alfie's asked, what should I do with Maddison and Saka? I think both will play. Same with your question there, Jack. I think Saka is going to play. Obviously pictured outside the team hotel last night. So I think it does look quite encouraging that he is going to be playing. Or at least might see some minutes. What were we doing? We were reviewing Luke's team. Onana, Ruben, Botman, Colwell, Foden, and Mbeumo, Rashford, Saka, Maddison, Morris and Haaland. I think you're looking very good there, to be honest, Luke, mate. Very strong team for this week, so hopefully it goes well for you. A few more people have sent me their team. If you do want to send me your team, at FPLTom_ on Twitter. We are reviewing them right now live on the YouTube chat. So yeah. Katie's asked, would you start Cash or Estepinian this week? I think I'd personally go Cash, just because they're the home team. That is kind of the only reason that I've really got for that. Brighton as well, yet to keep a clean sheet as well. So, someone's asked, sorry, just joined, but I have Botman, Saka, Maddison and Son in my team. Do you think they'll all play? I think Botman is probably the biggest risk out of all of those, but I do think all are going to play. I do think all of them are going to play. Matthew Carr, he's left me his team. Areola, Estepinian, Walker, Trippier and Buemo Salah. Bowen, Son, Morris, Haaland and Julian Alvarez. No complaints there. Very strong team. Should do very well for you this week, Matthew. Cameron's left his team as well. Edison, Botman, Estepinian, Saliba, Gibbs, White. Ooh, Botman, Fernandez, Maddison, Saka, Højlund. I do like Højlund as a potential differential shout going into this week. I think I would just play Areola over Maddison there. That would be the only change I'd make to that team, Cameron. Right, I think that's enough reviewing of your teams. We'll have another kind of gander later on Twitter. We're all getting lots of questions in on Twitter and on YouTube. What is my Twitter? At FPLTom_. If you want to leave me a team under the pinned tweet, and we will review them a little bit later in the stream. Right, we've had plenty of comments in the YouTube chat, so let's go back and have a quick read of them. Play Gabriel or Cash? I think I'd play Gabriel. Is Darwin Núñez worth getting? Not at the moment, but I think around game week 8, game week 9 he potentially could be. Oliver Lewis, start Botman or Estepinian? I think I'd start Botman. Robbie's asked, start Matoma or Maddison? Matoma? Would you do Pedro to Morris? Yes, hell yeah. Is it too crazy to go Saka to Gordon, Fernandez to Salah next week? I have the Trippier, Botman, Adoji, Salah, Son, Maddison. I think Bruno could be the only one there that I would be a little bit hesitant to sell. I know United haven't been great, but the next few fixtures are going to be brilliant. But if he doesn't look great today, then that definitely could be an option that you could go for. I was thinking Gusto to Kabore and Chilwell to Cash. Yeah, I think that could work. Spaghetti and beans. Odd combo. I did see your profile picture, Luke. It was actually quite funny. Unai Emery. Hello, Dallo or Chelsea defender for 2 match days? What Chelsea defenders are left, to be honest? I'd probably go Colwell or Thiago Silva if I was going to go for one. But United's defence, this is the thing. I know, Dallo, Johnny Evans and Maguire look really good, but then you've also got to think that is a massively weakened defence. So I'd probably be leaning a little bit more towards the Chelsea players. Defensively, they've actually looked quite good, which is an odd thing to say. Oh, It depends when you wildcard in, Jeff. That would be my answer to that. Let me know when you wildcard in, and then I'd probably say that's when we can decide whether or not to bring in Morris. Best replacement for Wissa only got 6 mil. Probably this week would be Carlton Morris. Yeah. Other than that, it's quite slim pickings. I've sent my team. Yeah, we'll go and have a look at some more. Jesus could potentially be an option, but I think he's going to be playing out wide again today. I've just got a feeling. Son, Ferguson, Calvert-Lewin or Bowen. Núñez and Archer and bring in Son next week. Bowen. Okay, that's a little bit confusing, Gary. You might need to condense that a little bit for me. Oh, Jesus. Chats are flying in today. We'll switch over to TikTok for a little bit. If you do want to answer any more questions, keep them coming in. The best thing you could do, though, is come over to the YouTube because I can read them a little bit quicker. If you're thinking 9 or 10, then I think going for Morris could be a really good option then because you've got an easy way back out of him. Jeff. Play Botman or Cash? Botman. Bench 1, Kabore, Estepinian, Botman or Walker? Probably Estepinian. Yeah, I wouldn't wildcard next week, Luke. Right before an international break, it just spells disaster, doesn't it? It really does. Spells disaster. Absolutely spells it. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. I will try to answer as many as possible prior to the deadline. If you want to send me your team as well, at FPLTom_, there we will be reviewing your teams live on the stream as well, giving you honest feedback with your team on the screen, slapping you right across the face as I just dash your team, your hopes, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Estepinian in place of Saliba or Botman? No, I don't think so. Keepers, Onana, Turner, Chilwell, Ruben, Estepinian, Romero, Henry, Odegaard, Maddison. With one transfer, what do I do? And Barmer, Ethan, or Henry, Rico Henry, get rid of him because he's injured. Or Chilwell. Chilwell to cash would make a lot more sense to me. Frees up quite a bit of money as well. No worries, Jeff. No worries. Gary simplified. Son, Ferguson, and Calvert-Lewin, or Nunes, Bowen, and Archer. I think I prefer Nunes, Bowen, and Archer. Son's great, but then Calvert-Lewin's got cheese strings for hamstrings. Nice. And then Ferguson, very similar, quite injury prone. Start Bell or Cash? I think I'd go Bell, just for the double. Just for the double. 2 free transfers, and Mbuemo, Saka, Maddison, Foden, Gabriel, Flecken, and Estepinian. What do I do? What do you do? And Mbuemo hasn't looked great. And if you look at his data sets compared to Game Week 1 to 3, lots of injuries for Brentford as well. I definitely think he would probably be one that I would be looking to take out for this game week. Maybe to Diaby. Flecken as well could be one. If you wanted to go for one of the double game week goalkeepers. Start Casher and Mbuemo. That's tough. Probably Mbuemo. Just about though. Bench 1, Kabore, Estepinian, Botman or Walker. Estepinian out of that lot. James Ward-Prowse or Bowen. Now this is the thing, right? Sheffield United have conceded the most set pieces in the league so far. So, you know, James Ward-Prowse is probably going to feast with some assists. But you do feel like Jared Bowen, he's just got that little bit more explosivity about him. So he could be the one. Bench 1, Kabore, Saka, Estepinian or Sterling. Probably Estepinian out of that lot. Harvey, no, unfortunately I can't open Instagram because I'm streaming on TikTok off my phone, so unfortunately I can't open that, mate. But if you want to leave it in this chat or the YouTube chat, then I can get round to it. Probably the YouTube chat's a little bit better because I can go back and forth in that one, whereas I can't quite do that with the TikTok chat. Right, we've had plenty of questions coming in on YouTube. I'm struggling between Chilwell to Trippier and Gusto to Cash. I think Gusto to Cash makes more sense if you've already got Botman. But if you haven't got any Newcastle defenders, then Chilwell to Trippier makes sense. Vishal, Areola, Trippier, Kabore, Botman, Akanji, Mbuemo, Son, Salah, Gordon, Haaland, Alvarez, Bench, Flecken, Diaby, Adoji. Great. No worries there. Vishal, very strong team. Yeah, I like it. Saliba or Gabriel for this game week? Probably Gabriel. Saliba hasn't, you know, had that flag, had that issue, so probably lean that way. Which Everton or Luton defender do I get? If you're going to get an Everton one, it'd probably be Tarkowski. If you're going to get a Luton one, you're probably looking at someone like Bell or Kabore. Thoughts on the yellow flags? I think a lot of them will disappear randomly at like 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock whenever the teams come out. Jackson to Morris and Saka to Son, or just Jackson to Watkins? Nah, Joe, I like the second option. Jackson to Morris and then Saka to Son seems great for me. I'd take that one. Any update on flagged players? We will go and have a look on Twitter in a minute. We'll have a scan, see for some early team news. Do you think that using a -4 is worth it this week? I potentially do. I'm considering it myself, Ethan. Obviously, a lot of us have issues. I think other people are going to be potentially taking hits as well. So I definitely do think there is reasoning behind taking minuses this week. James Ward-Prowse or Gordon? I think Gordon has the better kind of long-term fixtures. And James Ward-Prowse has the fixture this week. Then it's Newcastle and Villa, which isn't great. Especially if you wildcard him. Gordon or Jensen? Gordon, 100%. Hello, what do you think about Isak? I probably wouldn't risk going for him. I think if they're going to save him, they'll save him for the Champions League midweek. So potentially could see a little bit of rotation there. Start Watkins or Saka. I'd probably go Watkins. He's been very consistent. Villa have looked extremely good as well over the opening couple. Brighton yet to keep a clean sheet as well. Colwell or Estepinian start. I'd probably go Colwell. Probably would go Colwell. That Chelsea defence hasn't been that bad. Cash or Estepinian. I'm slightly leaning a little bit more towards Cash, to be honest. Yeah, 100%. 100%. If we get early team news that Matty Cash is like, you know, playing as a right winger, 100%. 100% I'd be bringing him in. That is like a cheat code in FPL, to be honest. Still might take the minus for Matty Cash. What's your thoughts on Mbeumo sub for Alvarez? Does Morris look like a good pick if Mbeumo is subbed? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Right, let's go and have a check of some early team news. See if there's any kind of kicking about. I've seen we've been sent some more teams. We will go and have a look at them as well afterwards. In terms of leaked team news, it's not, you know, it doesn't look like there's kind of too much kicking about at the moment. Got an hour and 10 minutes till the deadline, so, you know, something might pop up. But at the moment, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing so far. But I reckon we'll get something. Something before the deadline will happen. I hope. I hope. Oh, mate, this jacket is fire. Classic football shirts. It was on offer for like 18 quid. Like, absolute steal. But yeah, I absolutely love some Dortmund clobber. Can't lie. I've got another one as well, like kicking about a different Dortmund jacket. No, Dortmund isn't my favourite team. It's Mansfield. I think Dortmund just makes some sick clobber, to be honest. So yeah, it's the only reason we have some Dortmund stuff. But it's just nice stuff. And I feel like when you wear like bright stuff on like TikTok or YouTube streams, it just pops a little bit more. Like, you know, so many people are just kind of like scrolling, aren't they? And if you're wearing like a bright yellow kind of jacket or whatever, then, you know, people are going to see that. Who's my favourite Prem team? I'd probably say like someone like Brighton. Is Saka playing today? We still don't have 100% confirmation on it, but he was at the team hotel last night. That's about as far as we've got. Tarkowski to Bell or Kabore to bring in? Probably go Kabore. He's got really good underlying data. Keep Saka, Maddison and Botman in? Yeah, I would. I am. I'm doing that. I think those flags will disappear. Right. Luca has sent me his team. If you want to send me your team on Twitter at FPLTom_, it will be on my pinned tweet. Leave your team there and we'll get to it. Right, what's he said? Planning to go for Saka to Gordon and Bruno to Salah next week. Would that be crazy? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I think that team's very strong for this week, by the way. But I definitely think that could be an option that you've said there. I think if Bruno pops, though, what's your plan after that? Because the fixtures are good for United. They are really good. And I think people are underestimating what they could do this week. Zarda. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Zarda has sent me his team. Onana, Turner, Romero, Ruben, Estepinian, Chilwell, Henry, Odegaard, Maddison, Bruno Fernandes, Saka and Mbeumo, Julian Alvarez. I have one free transfer. Might use a -4. Who should I get? So I think you could do Chilwell to Cash. That could be a really good option for this week. Chilwell to Cash or Henry to Kabore. You know, drop that 4.5 down to a 4 million. Frees up a little bit more money in the bank. And then I think the rest of the team is looking pretty good, to be honest. I think you should be fine for this week. I don't think there's any need to take a minus with this team. So I do Henry to Kabore or Chilwell to Cash or Chilwell to Kabore and then Henry to Cash next week. You know, you get that free transfer. There's no need for a minus as well. Then next week you could potentially do Saka to Son. That could be an option. Or Odegaard to Son. That could be a really good option there next week. So frees up a little bit of money if you take one of these down to Kabore or Cash. That would be my honest advice. Anyone know about Reguilon? It looks like he's out. It does look like he's going to be out. But yeah. Have we had any more? Jack has sent me his team. 1 free transfer. I don't know what to do. Game week 10, 9, wild card. Okay. I think you're in a really good position here, to be honest, Jack. I genuinely do think you're in a really good position. Get out of here. I think you're in a really good position here, Jack, to be honest. I think you could hold the transfer for next week because your team is looking pretty strong. Or you could go Mbarma to Morris and potentially gamble on the double game week this week if you want to go down that route. If you're 9 and 10 wildcarding as well, you've got an easy way to get out of Morris if you do that. But you could definitely hold, take 2 into next week. Then maybe you want to get rid of Visser. Maybe you want to get rid of Saka at that point. You've got 2 free transfers. A lot more kind of deciding power as well. So I think you could either roll or Mbarma to Morris if you are wildcard and got a way out of that. Pranav. I hope I'm pronouncing these names correctly. I do apologise if I'm absolutely butchering them. Do apologise. He's got Areola, Shaw, Botman, Cash, Son, Fernandez, and Buemo, Maddison, Saka, Morris, Haaland. Benching Julian Alvarez. That's a big shout. That is a big shout. But who would you put in for him? Maybe Maddison. But again, I think Julian Alvarez could see a little bit of rotation this week. But he has been so good when he has been playing. So maybe Maddison to Julian Alvarez would be the only one I would say. But other than that, I think it's a very strong team. Have we had any more? Phoenix 1-1. Please rate my team. Areola, Botman, Kabore. Oh, let's get it up. Areola, Kabore, Botman, Trippier, and Buemo, Son, Matoma, Bruno, Bowen, Maddison, Julian Alvarez, Haaland. He's got Cash in there. He's got a Wonyi on the bench. I think I would probably play a Wonyi over Mbuemo, you know. I just think I would. But other than that, I think this team's very good. It's in a very good position. Matoma's probably the one player you want to get rid of in the next few weeks. But other than that, I think your team's in a very good place. Botman and Wilson a hold? Yeah, I'd hold for now. Hopefully we can get some early team news. Maddison and Saka start? Again, I do believe so. I think these are just precautionary flags that are on all these players, but I definitely think they will be starting. No injury updates so far, but I do think they will start. Hopefully we can get some before the deadline. I don't think Reguilon is going to play. I think he's out. Right, we've had plenty of questions in the YouTube chat. Keep up this good work, guys. It honestly helps the streams just flow a little bit more. Hi, should I play Flecken or Areola? I'd go Areola. I have double Newcastle, but Trippier is the most transferred in player this week. I have Burn and Botman. Yeah, I think you're fine. If you look what's happened with the most transferred players over the past few weeks, it doesn't go well. So, you know, just something to put out there. Who else could play on the right for Villa? It is Leon Bailey, but he's picked up a knock. So, you know, Matty Cash. I think Saka will play because why would he have travelled if he can't play? 100% agree with that statement, Luke. Would you start both Botman and Shaw ahead of Cash? Yes. Unless we get early team news and it looks like Cash is going to be playing right wing, then I potentially would be tempted to drop one of them for Matty Cash. That's what I'd do. Should I start Saliba and Walker? Yeah. How about Trippier or Bruno as captain? No. Either Haaland or Morris this week for me. On a wild card, should I keep Alvarez for this week and bring in Darwin next week or bring in Darwin next week? You repeat the same thing, but yeah. One last ride on the Ferris wheel. Yeehaw. Yeah, sure. Why not? Go for Alvarez. For this week. Start Estepinian or Cash? I'd probably go Cash, to be honest. Just especially if he's going to be playing right mid. Brighton haven't kept any clean sheets so far this season. What are we thinking with Son? I've brought him into my team this week, so I think he's going to be fine, Ed. Taylor versus Kabore this week. Taylor is a cheap option, but has only played the last 2 games, so could see a little bit of rotation with there being close games, but who knows. Saliba and Botman starting? I think so. When am I thinking of wildcarding? I'm thinking of wildcarding either game week 10 or game week 19. Injury dependent and kind of team dependent. But I think I might be able to make it to game week 19. Take advantage of those doubles that Manchester City and Brentford might have in game week 20. Obviously, if you don't follow Ben Krellin on Twitter, go and do that because he's an absolute G of finding out when double game weeks are. He's pretty much said it's going to be in game week 20, that double game week. So that fills me with a lot of hope. You know, getting in triple City and potentially double Brentford into that double game week. The fixtures as well around there are really good. So I definitely think that could be good. Any Brighton team news? Not so far. Not at the moment. Do I start Burn? Please answer. Yes. Yeah, start Burn. But don't be so demanding. Be gentle with me. Ask nicely. Alright? Ask nicely. Come on. Use your manners. We're brought up better than that. Come on. Alfie's asked, hi, I have Maddison, Saka and Chilwell and Botman with no free transfers. Should I do a -4 with 2.1 in the bank? No. Unless, Alfie, I need to see the rest of your team, but I think you potentially could scrape by with that. I wouldn't worry about that. Can you look at my team on Twitter, please? Yeah, we will. We'll go and have a look at some more. If you want to send me your teams, at FPLTom_ on Twitter, go to my pinned tweet. We will be reviewing them live on the YouTube stream. So if you are on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. Check us out on there. I can answer your questions just that little bit easier as well. Worth bringing in Son for Sterling this week or rolling? I think roll, right? You can get Son next week for the good fixtures. And Sterling, I think, is going to be playing up front for Chelsea this game week. So I think I'd do that. Can you just free hit for the City Brentford? Yeah, you could. You could. But I think I might use my free hit around like the FA Cup blank weeks. No, of course I would answer. Of course I would answer. I answer every question I can. Or attempt to answer every question I can. Cash or Kabore in this week? Ooh, that's difficult. And probably Kabore just for the double, but longer term Cash. Hi Tom, Turner or Flecken this week? Turner, back the home team. Brentford also have a lot of injuries as well. Anderson, Luton or Botman? I'd probably go Botman still. What do I do with Saka? I think he's going to play, so just keep him for this week. The only player that I potentially look to transfer him out for is for Son, maybe. But again, he's got a flag, so it's one of them. It's a little bit risky. It's a little bit risky. We've got an hour till the deadline. So do keep your questions coming in, guys, on TikTok or on YouTube. Any questions about your team. If you want your team reviewing, at FPLTom_ on Twitter. We've got some other stuff to look through as well in the stream. We've got my predictions. We'll have a quick whiz through of them before we go look at anyone else's teams. And then we've got predicted points for this game week, which is always a great asset to use. Always a great asset. Owen had a massive red arrow last week. Had a stinker. Quite a few people did, to be honest. It was one of those weird weeks where I feel like a lot of people scored well, but if you didn't have the right players, it just went to absolute mud. Good morning, buddy. Nice shirts. LFC fan here. Nice. Nice, mate. Is Kabore or Trippier captain crazy? Yeah, 100% it is. 100% it is. Any Villa news? Not at the moment. Spaghetti and beans. Estepinian or Cash just for this week? Just for this week? Probably Cash. Do I take Eze out for Diaby or Gordon? Oh, I'm really tempted with Diaby, you know. He looks good. He looks really, really good. So, slightly leaning a bit more towards Diaby. Gordon has also been excellent over the opening couple game weeks. 5 returns in 6 game weeks. But obviously is 1 yellow card away from suspension. Someone's asked, I'm 300k in the world. Is it worth going bold on captain or should I stick to Haaland? Now, I think I'd stick with Haaland. You know, you've got that good rank. Stay within the pack. Stay nice and close for now. There will be weeks like next week where Son has Luton that there does offer opportunities that you could potentially go against Haaland. Morris captaincy, it's one of them. Like, how brave are you feeling? How brave are you feeling? Wolves away or Everton and Burnley? Everton didn't look too bad. Burnley definitely improved in that Manchester United performance as well. Is Morris going to score? They've only scored 3 goals all season. Bowen captain. See, I feel like I'd probably lean more towards Bowen captain over like Morris. But yeah. For the longer term, I'd probably look towards Diaby, Todd. I'd probably look towards Diaby. Right. Bowen in for Saka. Potentially. It could be one. Yeah, sure, go for it. I came 7k last season. I'm 4.5 million this season. I feel like a lot of the top FPL content creators are in that position. Seems like template FC's kind of fallen over a little bit. Trippier in for Diaz next week. Yeah. Salah or Saka? Probably more Salah. I would not be having Mudryk anywhere near my team. Not at all. I took Son out before his haul. Oh, mate, that's a stinker. Right, let's have a quick run through of my predictions for this game week. If you are on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. Just type in FPL Tom. I can read the chat a little bit easier on there. You also get to see my predictions right now on screen. You also get to see my team. Predicted points. We're reviewing teams on Twitter as well. Absolutely everything. It's the best thing you can do. Just come over to YouTube. Come on. You know you want to. Come on. Right. Let's have a look at my predictions for this week. Aston Villa, Brighton. I went 1-1. For some reason, it hasn't left the 1 in there. Bournemouth, Arsenal. I went 2-1 Arsenal. Everton, Luton. I went 1-0 Everton. United, Palace. I went 1-1. Both teams absolutely riddled with injuries at the moment. Newcastle, Burnley. I went for a 3-1 win for Newcastle. West Ham, Sheffield United. I went for a 3-0 win for West Ham. Wolves, City. I went 4-1 to City. Spurs, Liverpool 2-2. Forest, Brentford 1-0 win for Forest. And then a 1-0 win on Monday night for Chelsea. Unfortunately, it didn't have the Luton game in this one. But for that Luton-Burnley game, we're going 0-0 as my prediction. 0-0 as my prediction for that one. Got Trippier and Botman. Who else should I play in the back three? Who else have you got? Estepinian, Cash, Kabore. Those probably be my top picks for this week. Okay, Alfie, I forgot what your question was originally, mate. I have Maddison, Saka, Chilwell, and Botman with no free transfers. Should I do a -4, 2.1? I think the only player I'd take a -4 there for is Cash for the longer term. But it depends when you're wildcarding. If you're wildcarding, maybe take a chance on Kabore. Got the double game week. Morning, Tom. Would you do a Bowen to Sterling for a -4? No, I think Sterling's going to have a good game week this week. I'm putting it out there. I'm being bold. I'm being ballsy. They've got Fulham and Burnley, and I think he's going to play up front this week. And he has looked the best player, to be honest. Onana or Sanchez? Probably Onana. Back the home team. I always like to back the home team. Is a free hit worth it? I'd prefer to hold them for the blank game weeks. I feel they're a lot harder to navigate. Because usually when a team blanks, it's usually the crap ones. And, we're not going to own a lot of their assets. So, it's very easy to get them in very last minute. But if your team's an absolute shambles for this week, then potentially. Is Saka starting? Don't know yet. Who starts out of Estepinian and Cash this week? I think I'd go Cash. I think he's got a higher probability of getting an attack in return this week. So, yeah. Those were my predictions. Right, let's have a look at some predicted points. Do I think a Newcastle defender is essential? Probably. Probably is. Let's take a look at some predicted points for this week. Might help people with their captaincy. We've got Haaland leading the way on 9 points. We've got Morris in second with 7.7. So, there is a big difference there. But a lot of people are fancying Morris to do well in this game week. 7.7 expected points. Could be something. Could be something, ladies and gentlemen. There just could be something in it. Who knows? Who knows? Who's joining the Carlton Morris season? He's still under like 6% owned as well, which is mental. Absolutely mental for a double game week player. But yeah, who knows? You might join it. Then it's Trippier with 7, Salah with 6, Koscielny, I hope I'm pronouncing that, or Koleosho, sure, 6.7. Andoni, a player I've already mentioned, 6.5. Then Bowen with 6.3. Then Julian Alvarez, 6.1. Anthony Gordon with 6.1 as well. And then Foden finishing up at the bottom with 6. And Buemo and Bissa out for Bowen and Awonyi for a -8. No, I would not be doing that for a -8. I know Brentford haven't looked great, but I still wouldn't be doing that. Opinions on Captain Morris. He is the second highest predicted point scorer for this game week, behind Haaland. I still would be going for Haaland. What's Cabore's predicted points? Good question. Let's have a look for you, mate. Should we have a look? Cabore's predicted points are 5.7 for this game week. 5.7 predicted points for this game week. Those are his predicted points for this game week. So that, you know, quite handsome. Quite handsome for a Luton defender. Is Estepinian over Bayer a good call? Brighton haven't kept a clean sheet so far. That's all I'm going to say on that one. And if you've got Bayer, why would you not be playing him in this double game week? Sterling or Mbeumo? Sterling, 100%. Sterling, 100% for me. Right. There's about 50 minutes till the deadline. Let's go and have a look if we've got any early team news. I think someone else has sent me their team. No, they haven't. All good. Don't have anyone like banging on at me there. Doesn't look like we've got any early team news kicking about. If you do know anyone who has any early team news, do get them in. But yeah, it doesn't look like we have any early team news currently at the moment. But yeah, keep the questions coming in, guys. Hopefully that worked. Saka or Rashford? I'm probably leaning more towards Rashford this week. Should I change Saka for Bowen? If we get early team news that Saka's not playing, then yeah. What game week does wildcard refresh? So the last week you can play your first wildcard is game week 19. And I think it's game week 20 or 21 the new one comes in. I've gone with Maddison over and Mbeumo. Fair play. Why not? Is Botman's Trippier a -4 worth it? No. No. Unless we get early team news that Botman is 100% out, then it's just not worth it. Bell or Saliba? I think I'd go Bell. Alright, okay. Saka and Maddison, should I keep them both in? I am. I'm keeping them both in. You're going to call me mad, but I sold Vissa for Morris. I don't think it's the worst thing. Like, if you've taken a -4, fair play. Like, you need Morris to at least get a return, Josh. But it's not the worst thing. He has got a double game week. Wilson or Alvarez for transfer? I mean, I'm not really keen on either of them, to be honest. Like, Wilson's got like a potential knock issue. City's fixtures aren't that great in the long term, but I know Alvarez has been slapping. The kid just absolutely screamed outside. I do apologise if you could hear that. Decore, Everton, what do you reckon? Yeah, I think Decore's like a very good rogue shout. I've been looking at his underlying data. It's absolutely ridiculous. So potential for a little rogue shout there. Would you do Bowen to Mbeumo? I think I would. You know, if I had that luxury. If I was in that luxurious position, I think I would. Trippier and James Ward-Prowse or Shaw and Maddison? Shaw and Maddison. I think I'd go that way. Transferring Gordon, Matoma or Ward-Prowse? Probably Gordon, Ward-Prowse and then Matoma bottom. Brighton's fixtures are really difficult from now. Really difficult. I think Villa will probably beat them today as well. It's going to be an interesting game. Do keep the questions coming in, guys. We've got about 45-ish minutes just over till the deadline. 11 a.m. deadline. I'm not a fan of these early deadlines. Like, geez, they just kill me off. They just kill me off. I was up at 8:30. Well, that's a lie. I was up a little bit earlier because where I live, there's like a shop directly behind it, a big, like, you know, branded shop. I'm not going to give it away. You might track me down and see where I live, and that would be a bit weird. But they had a delivery at like 7 this morning, and they're the loudest guys I've ever heard, just clanging the lorries. Just really frustrating. But yeah, keep your questions coming in, guys. Captaincy choice for today, I'm going Haaland, but I think Morris could be another one, but going against Haaland is always risky. Especially for a team that have only scored 3 goals. It's very risky. No, don't, Josh. Don't take a -4 to get him back out. Leave it. You've made the decision. Stick with it. Is Tarkowski a good pick? I feel he's had his haul already. But I definitely think he could be a good pick. Yeah. For the next 2, especially if you wildcarding in 9, he definitely could be a really good pick. Beto, Isak, or Wilson. Jesus. I think, like I said, if you wildcarding in 9, I think Everton players are really good picks for the next 2 game weeks. They look very impressive against Brentford. Beto as well. He's one of them where I think he's either going to start or he's going to come off the bench around the 60th minute. I think he's looked bright. Not got his first Premier League goal yet. That's what I'm kind of waiting for before I jumped onto Beto, if I was going to jump onto him. But yeah. Ward-Prowse or Bowen. Obviously, Sheffield United conceded the most set-piece goals so far this season. Newcastle scored 2 against them as well. So, you know, there is the potential that Ward-Prowse could pick up some assists from corners, free kicks, stuff like that. But I feel Bowen has that little bit more explosivity about him. Do I bring in Gordon and Son and sell Saka and Sterling? I wouldn't, you know. I'd keep Saka and Sterling for this game week, unless we get early team news. When will you start rating teams? We've already done kind of a round of rating teams. If you want to send me a team on Twitter, at FPLTom_, we've already done a large batch of team ratings. But if you want to see some more, we'll do some more. At FPLTom_ on Twitter. Go to my pinned tweet, leave your team there. That's the best thing that you can do. And we'll review it live on stream and give you honest feedback. Any news on Cash's position at the moment? Josh, I would keep Mbeumo. Do not be taking any more minuses. I know what you're about. I know what your game is, pal. Here's that team that someone wanted me to review. Here it is. Pickford, Cash, Estepinian, Botman, and Mbeumo, Bruno Fernandes, Sterling, Foden, Morris, Alvarez, Haaland. I think that team's fine. I think that team is ridiculously strong, to be honest, for this game week. I know you've benched Saka, but I think you might do well here. I think you might do well with this team. Saka to Son next week as well for a free transfer would be a great option. There you go. Reviewed. Have we got any other early team news? Let's give this a refresh. See what's cracking. Any leaked team news? Doesn't look like it, which is a little bit frustrating. That we don't have any early team news. Keep the questions coming in, guys. We will try to answer as many as possible. Don't even have to be FPL related, to be honest. If you want to just ask me some general questions as well. We can have a chat about football. We can have a chat about life if you want. Maybe you've got some woman issues. We can sort them out for you. The best we can. Haaland, Morris, who should be my third striker be? Depends what the rest of your team looks like. And if you're on a wild card, maybe Archer. Frees up money to go for Salah if he starts slapping during their good fixture run. I need points and Sterling is blanking and Saka isn't playing, so Oggs, Gordon and Son good picks. Potentially, but like Sterling's going to be playing up front in my opinion. I think he's going to play up front against Fulham, who had the highest XG conceded. Yes, Chelsea have only scored 1 goal last month, but you know, it could be worth the gamble. or Anthony Gordon could pick up a yellow card, be suspended because he's on 4. That's a game out for him. Son might not even play. He's still got the flag. We haven't heard anything else. Start 1 of Saliba, Martinelli and Saka, all 50%. I'd start Saka. I think he's up to 75 now, mate. I think he's up to 75. Which one should I bench between Botman, Eze, Maddison, Cash and Saka? I'd bench Eze. I'd bench Eze out of that lot, Brandon. I would bench Eze. Is James Ward-Prowse a good pick? Yeah, I think he's a good pick. He's a good pick. He is a good pick. What else could we go through today? You know what we haven't done? We haven't done predicted lineups. Give me a second. We'll just whack that onto solo cam and I'll get this loaded up. And we'll go look at some predicted lineups. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We are going to look through predicted lineups on Draft Time right now. So if you are on the TikTok chat, what you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. You will be seeing predicted lineups from Draft Hound with kind of predicted minutes around them as well. And maybe helps you make your decisions just that little bit easier. You cannot send me your team on Instagram. Unfortunately, I won't be responding on there as I'm streaming on TikTok off my phone. If you want to send me your team, go over to Twitter at FPLTom_ or leave it in the TikTok or YouTube chat. Probably the YouTube chat is a little bit more easier for me to read as I can scroll through and go back through it. But yeah. Right. On screen right now, we do have the predicted lineups for this game week. Arsenal's Raya, White, Gabriel, Saliba, Zinchenko, Odegaard, Jorginho, Havertz. They are predicting Saka is going to play, and Nketiah and Jesus. I think that definitely could be the lineup for this game week. For Villa, they've gone Martinez, Cash at right back, but I don't think that could be quite correct. Pau, Konza, Digne, Kamara, Douglas Luiz, McGinn, Diaby, Zanilo, and Watkins. Bournemouth, I'm not even going to waste my breath on that one. Brentford, Flecken, Hickey, Pinnock, Collins, Roslev, Jensen, Norgard, Janelt, Lewis Potter, and Mbuemo and Visser. Brighton, Steele, Veltman, Webster, Dunk, Estepinian. Dahoud, Gilmore, March, Ansu Fati, Matoma, and Danny Welbeck. Burnley, Trafford, Roberts, Aldakil, Bayer, Taylor, Cullen, Ramsey, Brownhill, Trezor, Amdoni, Kolisho. Oh my days! What am I even attempting here with these pronunciations? Absolutely butchering every single one of them. Sanchez, Diassi, Thiago Silva, Colwell, Cucurella, Gallagher, Cancelo, Palmer, Enzo, Mudryk, and Sterling up front. Like I've been saying, those people who've got Sterling, I don't think I'd sell him this week. I think he is going to play up front. Draft Hound have predicted the same thing as well. Crystal Palace today, Johnson, Ward, Gahey, Anderson, Mitchell, Decore, Hughes, Ayew, Eze, Schlupp, Mateta. Everton, Pickford, Young, Branthwaite, Tarkowski, Mikolenko, Garner, McNeil, Decore, Onana, Danjuma and Beto. Leno starts for Fulham, not even going to bother reading the rest of their team. Liverpool front line, Salah, Darwin and Luis Diaz. I definitely think that could be the lineup for this week. Luton, they're predicting Kabore is going to play, Bell's going to play, Morris is going to play, the big one that we spoke about. City, Ederson, Walker, Akanji, Ruben, Gvardiol, Kovacic, Foden, Julian Alvarez, Doku. I've seen a few people have him in the chat. And Haaland up front. Mate, I need my hair getting redone. It's absolutely a mess, isn't it? It's abysmal. It's abysmal. I'm getting it cut in like a few weeks. But yeah. Pickford or Ederson. I think if you've got Pickford, back him against Luton. United team, Onana, Dalot, Varane, Lindelof, Amrabat, Ericsson, McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, Mount, Rashford, Hoyland. Newcastle, Draft Hound is predicting that Botman is going to play, Trippier, Shaw, Botman, Burn, Longstaff, Bruno G, Anderson, Almiron, Wilson, Gordon. Forest, Turner's in goal, Awonyi up front, Gibbs, White. No one's going to have a Sheffield United player. Draft Hound are predicting Son, Maddison, Kulusevski, Ped Porro and Adoji are all going to play later. And West Ham, Areola, Antonio, Ward-Prowse, Bowen. They're all going to play. And for Wolves, Jose Sarr, Probably the only one that people have. Pedro Neto, 90 minutes. Been very impressive if you still got him. Obviously, it is City, so it's a little bit difficult. What questions have we had in the YouTube chat right now? Choose two: Estepinian, Gabriel, and Diaby. I'd probably go Gabriel and Diaby. No, Josh, keep Morris. Keep Morris, mate. Start Saka or Mbeumo. I'd probably still go Saka. Hey, mate, could you help me bench one? Mbeumo, Maddison, or Odegaard? Probably go Odegaard. Alvarez or Morris? Morris. Liam, come on. Don't be daft. It's Carlton Morris season, baby. Saka or Estepinian start? I'd probably go Saka. Giles for Luton. Should I play him? I don't think he's going to play. What did Draft Town say? Let's have a quick look. He came off the bench in the last game. I know that. Yeah, they haven't got Giles playing, so probably not. Oh. Hey man, thoughts on me using my wildcard but not having Salah in my new team? I think that's a little bit daft. I think if I was wildcarding, I would have Salah or at least Son. But it depends what other Liverpool player you've got in there. The Liverpool fixtures, 9 to around 12 are really good, so you're going to need some Liverpool players in there. Wilson or Nunez? I think Nunez is definitely going to play the game. We're not 100% sure on Callum Wilson. Jamie's asked where can he send my team? At FPLTom_ on Twitter. If you leave it on my pinned tweet, we'll review it live on the YouTube chat. So yeah. No worries, mate. No worries. Hope you enjoy the stream. Any questions that you do have in future game weeks, if you want to come back, we will answer them. Morris or Haaland captain? I'm sticking with Haaland captain. I know Morris has got the double, but they've only scored 3 goals so far this season, Luton. Shaw or Botman? I think go for Shaw just because he's definitely not injured. Whereas Botman, there's still that risk of kind of rotation looming over him. So yeah. Matoma or Maddison? I think I'd go Maddison this game week. Josh, keep him. Don't be taking a minus to get rid of a player you brought in. Do I think Madders will play? Yeah, I do. I mean, he trained. I think it's just a little bit of like coy, bit of management, you know. Like, he's injured. Not really. He's not really injured, is he, though? I think he's one of them. Star Gaming, Edison, Walker, Shaw, Botman, and Mbeumo, Rashford, Fernandes, Maddison, Haaland, and Visser. Very strong team, to be honest. Very strong team, mate. Saka or Maddison? Probably leaning more towards Saka if we're looking at the fixture. Thoughts on Saliba to Kabore to get money for Salah for game week? Yeah, I'd do that. Then. Arsenal's fixtures for the next few aren't that good as well. And if it saves you getting that wild card as well, it would delay it. Thomas has sent me his team. We'll go and have a look at a few more of those in a minute. Do I keep Morris even though I have Tarkowski? Yeah, he's got a double. So he plays Burnley the next week. He could blank against Everton and then get 2 against Burnley, and it's still worth it. Right, a few people have sent me their teams, I think, on Twitter. So let's go and have a look at that. Or one person. Thomas FPL, he sent me his team. Wildcard team, 0.2 in the bank. Botman, Trippier, Areola, Kabore, Gordon, Salah, Diaby, Maddison, I really like this team. Really like this team. I think you've done a very good job here, to be honest. Darwin is a little bit of a rogue shout. Maybe you could have Morris and then go to Darwin next week. Could be a potential shout that you could do because this team will still be strong for next week. Just because I think you've got 4 players in one game. You're hoping for a goal fest there. And that's the only change I think I'd make. And then you can bring in Darwin for Morris next week. That's the only thing I do there, Thomas. That is the only thing that I do there. Right, we've got about half an hour till the deadline. We'll have a quick scan if there's any early team news. And I really wish that kid outside would shut nearly swore. Nearly really got angry at a kid. But we can't do that. But yeah. Like, who lets the kids out in a car? Like, there's a car park this side of my wall here, where the window is. Who lets their kids play out in a car park? Like, come on, grow up. Absolutely grow up. How confident am I about my flags? I feel pretty confident. I'm not going to lie. Cheers for the like, Alfie. Appreciate that, mate. If you are enjoying the stream on TikTok or on YouTube, drop a like. It does push it out to more people. Rate the Dortmund training kit for this season. Let's get it up. Dortmund training kit. It's not too bad. I like that black top they've got. That's quite nice. Start Diaby or Maddison. That's a tough shout. We should get early team news. So if Diaby's playing, probably Diaby. Yellows. Big up Mansfield. Big win coming for them today against Gillingham. Obviously a lot of ex-Mansfield players as well in there. But, you know, we're going to absolutely smash it. Oh, we're on to the second water. The throat was doing fine for about the first hour and 10, and then it's just absolutely capitulated. It's fallen apart. I've got Saliba, Dunk, Botman. Need to put 2 in. Which would you go for? I'd probably go Saliba and Botman. Because I feel they're in the positions where if they're injured or they're not going to play or they're on the bench, I don't think they're going to come in. So, yeah. Madders news? No, we don't have any James Maddison news at the moment, unfortunately. Let's have a quick scout of Twitter. But yeah, we don't have any early team news, which is a little bit concerning. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Is Golden Goal not streaming today? Oh no, he's not streaming today. That's a shame. Absolute legend, by the way, Golden Goal Fantasy Football. If you want to go follow him for some top content, he does go make some. But, you know, stick with me. You know, I'm pretty good as well. If you want to leave me a team, come to this pin tweet at FPLTom_ on Twitter. I will be reviewing your team live on stream if you want it reviewing. But yeah, keep your questions coming in, guys. Diaby or Bowen for this week? Bowen, longer term Diaby. Gvardiol playing? I believe he'll play today. Should I start Tarkowski or Eshpinyan? I think you go Tarkowski. Luton at home, you back Everton to keep a clean sheet there. You'd hope anyway. You would hope. But it would be typical Everton, wouldn't it? Just to lose to Luton. Ward-Prowse or Bowen? We've had this question a few times, and I'm slightly leaning more towards Bowen, but I definitely think, you know, Ward-Prowse, with the vulnerability from set pieces that Sheffield United have, Ward-Prowse could easily get a haul as well. Jake's asked, Saka or March? I'm thinking of benching March, and if Saka doesn't play, he gets subbed on. Yep, I think that's the right way to go about it. Josh AFC, can you rate my team? Of course I can, mate. If you want to leave it in the YouTube chat or the TikTok chat, or you want to leave it on my Twitter at FPLTom_ under that pinned tweet, then we can review it for you there, mate. Bowen hat-trick, come on! I could see it happening. I could really see it happening. What games are people looking forward to watching this weekend? I know obviously a buttload are at 3 o'clock, which means that a lot of people in this country can't watch them. Unfortunately, I'm not in that bracket. I'm not illegally. Whoa! Just want to put it out. You know, if there's any police watching, we're not illegally streaming them. So we're just gonna put that one out there. We don't want to get caught with our trousers around our ankles, there, do we? Like, come on. I really can't decide between James Ward-Prowse and Bowen. I think Bowen, longer term, just has that more explosivity about him. -4 Saka to Bruno. No, I wouldn't do that. Is Saka starting? We don't know yet, but he was pictured outside the team hotel. Marcel, can I rate your team again? Yeah, of course I can. If you want to send it me on Twitter, at FPLTom_ on Twitter, or if you want to leave it in this chat, I will rate them. Would you buy Kabore for Henry for a -4, which would give me the upgrades to go Yeah, I think he's obviously. I think Barney, he's got that double game week, so I think that should cover it off. And if it allows you to get Son in next week against Luton, we could absolutely mega haul. I think that makes sense for a -4. I do think that makes sense for a -4. You know, he's got the double. Imagine if he keeps a clean sheet in both. That's 12. So you know, you're looking at 8 points there. You're up with the -4. So I think that makes sense. Edison or Pickford, I'd probably go Pickford. Saka or Maddison, I'd probably go Saka. Pickford has to keep his clean sheet this week. Eze or Matoma, probably leaning more towards Matoma. Has anyone sent me their teams? Liam sent me his team. What a goat. What an absolute goat this guy is, by the way. What a goat. Big shout out to you, Liam. Absolute goat, mate. Heard you had a little bit of trouble in town last night. Could you not handle your beer? Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing from FPL Lewis. You couldn't hack your drink last night. But let's have a look at your team for this week, mate. Areola, Bell, Botman, Cash, Saka, Rashford, and Mbeumo, Sterling, Visser, Haaland, captain, Morris. Benching Madders is, it's tough, man. That is tough. But I really can't see who else you'd go for in this kind of lineup. Maybe Visser, because Brentford haven't looked that great over the past couple, sorry. So maybe drop Visser for Maddison, but it's a big call, mate. It's a big call whichever way you go. But I think I would probably play Maddison over Visser. That's just my personal call. But he's here with Carlton Morris. We absolutely love that. But that's the only change I think I'd maybe make. I just don't think I fancy Brentford enough. But they could easily smash Forest. Is one of them. It's whether or not you just... It's so difficult to call that, mate. That is on you. I think that's a 50-50 split, to be honest. But I personally would maybe look to go the other way. Bring in Madders. Is Salah a good differential captain this week, or is Haaland too obvious? Haaland's too obvious for me, and then Morris probably second. Ward-Prowse or Nunes? Ward-Prowse. What's my Twitter? At FPLTom_. Leave your team under the pin tweet. We can reply it there. Like I said, if you want to leave it on the Twitter, at FPLTom_. Go over Twitter. It will be reviewed live on the YouTube. Saka or Maddison this week? Probably Saka. It's really, really difficult. Johnny's asked Areola, Taylor, Trips, Bell, Son, Salah, Decore, Diaby, Madders, Haaland. Please rate. It's very strong. Very strong, mate. Very strong. Hey, Marcel, it's just what we do. It's just what we do, mate. It's just what we do. Jamie sent me his team. Absolutely fantastic, mate. Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look right now. We are going to review it for you right now, Jamie. It hasn't come through unless it is in... the hidden replies. It could be in the hidden replies. Let's have a look. It's not in the hidden replies. What's your username, Jamie? That might help me. That might help me find it a little bit better. Let me know what your username is. If anyone else wants to send me their team, at FPLTom. I think Madders is going to play though, Liam. I do think he is going to play. And if he doesn't play, then just have Visser first sub and he'll come back in. Cameron has sent me his team as well. Let's go and have a quick gander over on Twitter. Can't see these teams coming through. I did not rate your team, Josh. Again, they're just not coming through, which is a little bit frustrating. Who's this one? Jamie, here he is. Big times ahead. He's got Areola, Botman, Estepinian, Cash, Gordon. Yeah, I found your team now, Jamie. We're just reviewing it now, mate. Areola, Botman, Estepinian, Cash, Gordon, Madders, and Buemo, Salah, Son, Jesus. Very rogue chat for this week. Haaland. I think your bench is in the right order. Have you made your free transfer or not? Because I think this team's strong enough, to be honest. I don't think it needs the transfer, to be honest. But yeah, that's what I do with that. Marcel's team is here as well. Shout out to him. He was in last week's stream. Pope, Shaw, White, Botman, Estepinian, Matoma, Eze, Caicedo. Ooh, that's rogue. I'd play Son over Caicedo 100%. Marcel, I would play Son over Caicedo 100%. That is what I'd be doing with that team. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Liam's we did. Sorry if I'm like, this is just really boring content, but I'm trying to not make sure I miss anyone's teams. But yeah, I think we've done everyone that I could find. Oh, here we go. We've got another one. Cameron's team. I know he's in the tick one. Nah, you didn't make too much noise, Murph. The candle's on for a reason in the kitchen as well. It stunk of like, I had a curry last night and it really stunk. So that is why the candle's on, just to give that flat a little bit of a fresh fragrance. There you go. Don't think I'm just a lunatic and just put a candle on and left it. That's not what I did. There was a reason. Oh, well, it was on for a little bit of romance as well. It was just that little bit. I thought I'd treat you. I know you've been away. I thought it'll come back. Bit of candle, bit of Marvin Gaye. We'll go out. We'll get some lube later. We'll have a little bit of fun. Let's review Cameron's team. Oh, just getting a little bit distracted. Oh, whoopsie. We've got Areola, we've got Botman, we've got Estepinian, we've got Zuma, we've got Kabore, and Buemo, Maddison, Salah, Rashford, Julian Alvarez, Haaland, Flecken, Diaby, Cash. I think I'd play Cash over Estepinian. That would be the only change that I would make here, Cameron. No, thank you. That is the only change that I would make there, to be honest, Cameron, to your teammate. Some more people sending me their teams. Sneh. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, mate. I hope I'm not absolutely butchering that. Review his team. He's got Edison. He's got Botman. He's got Kabore. Trippier captain is bold. Is very bold. Rashford, Saka, and Buemo, Matoma, Bowen, Haaland, Julian Alvarez. Duran's another rogue shout in there. I probably would be captain Haaland, though, to be honest, mate. That would be the changes that I would make to that team. Other than that, very good. Very strong. Alfie has sent me his team. Turner, Botman, Ruben, Estepinian, Rashford, Diaby, and Buemo, Saka, Maddison, Haaland, captain, Watkins, Chilwell. I think that's fine, mate. Very good team for this game week. Maybe missing a doubler if you've got a free transfer left. Maybe Chilwell to one of the doublers. But I don't think like there's any kind of rash reason why you should be taking someone out. So I don't think it's too bad. We just did your team. We did your team. Where to send teams to? At FPLTom_ on Twitter. If you leave it under my pinned tweet, I will review it there. Start Estepinian or Cash. I'm slightly leaning more towards Cash, sorry. He's got the home fixture. Could be playing further upfield as well. Let's have a look if we've got any early team news. Some people are tweeting. I don't know whether or not these are reliable sources. Potentially. So, FPL Goldfish has said Son and Maddison confirmed for the Liverpool game later. I don't know how reliable that guy is. FPL Tony has said Alvarez, Foden, Haaland, Diaz, tick. Gvardiol, no. Again, not 100% reliable sources, these ones. But yeah, not 100% reliable. We'll keep looking for some more reliable ones. But yeah, none so far that are reliable. Doesn't want Morris because you've got Tarkowski. I don't think that's a problem though. I don't think that's a problem. I do not, because you get that second fixture with him. That's the thing. That is the thing. I don't think that's too much of an issue. I wouldn't worry about it. I maybe wouldn't have Wilson either just because he's flagged and there could be a little bit of rotation as well. That would be the only change I'd make. Who sent me their team? Someone else has sent me their team on TikTok. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. And then we'll... this is going to be the last one I review, guys. Unless you want to send it me in the chats. Yeah, this is the last one I'm going to review. Because then we're going to be scouting for early team news prior to the deadline. I'm guessing this is you here, mate. Have you ever tried Slazenger flavoured crisps? No, I haven't. If Sports Direct are selling them, they are on a madness. Mike Ashley's a war criminal. Let's just put it that way. I'm guessing this is you. @_FIKA88. I'm guessing that is you. I'm guessing that is you. Cheers for the like, mate. If you can send us some Slazenger flavoured crisps as well, that would be great. Wolves, Cash, Kabore, Botman, Odegaard and Buemo. Casemiro is a rogue one. Szoboszlai as well is a very rogue one. Son, Højlund. See, this is the thing. I'd play Watkins over Szoboszlai if this is your team. I'd probably play Watkins over Szoboszlai. That's what I'd be doing there. Right, let's have a quick scan of any early team news on Twitter. We've got some early team news. Foden and Alvarez are both starting. So I know a lot of people have Julian Alvarez. Looks like he is going to be starting this game week. That is from Lazy FPL. Foden and Alvarez both starting this game week. So yeah, there we go. Breaking news. Foden and Alvarez are starting. City edits. Saka or Son. Probably leaning more towards Saka for this week. Son for the longer term. Unfortunately, Josh, it is just not pulling through. You literally saw me go through it there, mate. So I don't know what I can do about that, unfortunately. Solanke news. Don't have any Solanke news, but it is going to be a very last minute call. That's what Iriola said yesterday. Chilwell to Kabore for a hit, but I would have to bench Botman. Then no, I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. I won't do that. Calvin Lewis is a shout. I think Beto might start. Marcel's asked, should I go really rogue and captain Alvarez? Nah, I think I'd stick with Haaland. Haaland or Morris for this week. Yeah, that is what I was doing. The team news that we did get was that Alvarez and Foden are both starting for Manchester City. That is from... oh, you've sent it me 3 times on YouTube, not on Twitter. Sorry, Josh. I do apologise, mate. Pickford, Gabriel, Botman, Cash, Salah, Saka, and Buemo, Haaland, Alvarez. That team is fine, Josh. That team is very, very good for this week. Ready to go. No issues there. We've had quite a few people send me their teams on Twitter, so we're going to have to go and have a look, aren't we? Even though I've got no notifications, so they're not pulling through, guys, if you are sending them to me. So I do apologise. I can't see them in here, unfortunately. Here we go. Zach, I've got your team, mate. We have your team. It has appeared. Edison, Botman, Estepinian, Trippier, Matoma, Rashford, and Buemo, Maddison, Julian Alvarez, Visser, Haaland, captain. Botman. I'd probably swap Saka and Adoji's positioning round. Because if one of your defenders doesn't play, Adoji automatically comes in. And I maybe would start Saka over Visser. That would be my only suggestion there, mate. See if we've got any other ones lurking about. Ah, here we go. I've found your AFC FTB1. I have found you, mate. Don't worry, you're here now. I know you're in the TikTok chat. I have found you right now. We're reviewing your team. So sorry it took me a little bit of a while. It was right at the bottom in hidden replies, which is always great to see. Onana, Trippier, Ruben, Estepinian, Kabore, Odegaard, Diaby, and Buemo, Bowen, Julian Alvarez, who we know has been confirmed to play, and Haaland. Anything I should change? I probably would put Saka ahead of João Pedro. And I probably would start Saka over Estepinian, to be honest. I probably would start Saka over Estepinian. Katie's asked Rashford or Mbuemo. I'd probably go Rashford over Mbuemo this game week. Let's have a quick scout for early team news. I'm not going to rate any more teams, guys, because, yeah, I want to be looking for early team news for you guys rather than rating. So get your questions in. Any last minute kind of questions. Foden, Alvarez, Diaz and Haaland all starting from FPL Main Road. A very reliable source within the FPL community. So yeah, Foden, Alvarez, Diaz and Haaland are all playing. Bench Maddison or Saka. Probably want to bench Maddison out of those two. Right. Wildcard players you'd suggest. Any from Luton. Spurs players you want to be looking at. You also want to be looking at some West Ham, some Aston Villa players. Those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. No worries, Marcel. Enjoy the game today. Hi, Tom. Would you play Onana or Turner? I'd probably lean more towards Onana. You'd expect Manchester United to keep a clean sheet. Palace as well haven't been creating plenty of opportunities, so I definitely would go that way around. Wildcard recommendations. Fernandes, Saka, yeah. Cool. Estepinian on Salah. I'm just trying to read the chat as fast as I can because questions are flying in. Will Saka start? I think he will. I don't see why they would make him travel if they weren't going to start him. I think they'd just leave him out completely. Katie's asked, would you start a 1 year? Yeah, 100%. 100%. You're in a lot of these streams, Katie. You're in a lot of these streams. You've asked quite a few questions, so I hope you are following. Hope you're enjoying the content as well. Maddison or Cash? I think I'd probably lean more towards Cash. On a wild card, Trippier and Buemo or Shaw and Maddison. Shaw and Maddison would be the options. Get the Dortmund flags in there. Love that. What should I order my bench with? Cash, Adoji, and Archer. Cash, Adoji, Archer. I'd probably go Cash, Adoji, Archer. Yeah, like that. Cheers for the likes, Katie. Massively appreciate that. Should I play Maddison or Watkins? I'd probably play... Watkins has been absolutely firing it in, recently. So I'd probably go Watkins. Think Stag streak will end today? Nah, we're never losing another game, are we? We're never losing another game. Katie's absolutely smashing the like button and we love to see that. If you are enjoying the streams, do be sure to give them a like, follow. I think we're closing in on 7,500 followers on TikTok. We're trying to hit 2,500 on YouTube as well. So, if you want to come over there, help me out on that platform as well. Would be absolutely immense. But yeah, thank you for all your support. Obviously, last week was incredible. We got raided by FPL Focal right at the end and it just went off. It just went off, guys. So massively appreciate all the support you guys have been showing me at the start of this season. So yeah, keep it up and who knows? Who knows where we'll be by the end of the year. But yeah, thank you very much for your support. Massively appreciated by me. Will Son start? I think he will. I think he'll start. Right, let's go and have a look if we've got any early team news around that Brighton game. Hopefully we've got something. I'm hoping we have something. FPL Focal, speak of the devil, has activated his wildcard. Botman, Burn, Kabore, Diaby, Gordon, triple Newcastle. Oof. Rogue. Very rogue. Let's have a look at any leaked team news. See if we've got any other ones coming in. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. 8 minutes till the deadline. Keep them flying in. No other early team news at the moment, which is a little bit disappointing. I was hoping we'd get something from the Brighton game, sorry. Or something around Arsenal. but it doesn't look like we have. Saliba to start. I think he will. I think he will start. Obviously, he was pictured outside the team hotel. Again, I find it very weird that these players would even travel if they were that injured. Saka starting. There's a leak. Oof. Where's the leak from? Where's the leak from? Morning, Tom. Would you play Saliba or Estepinian? Probably go Saliba. Because if he doesn't start, I don't think they're going to just bring him off the bench. So then Estepinian will come in. Gvardiol or Kabore? I think I'd go Kabore because I've seen rumours that Gvardiol's not playing this week. Yeah, where's this leak? Where is this Saka leak coming from? We need to know. Tell us. Should I start Burn or Botman? I'd probably start... I mean, if you've got both, like you could both potentially start both of them. No early team news unless someone can inform us where that Saka one has come from. Unless you're just chatting and making it up. Should I keep Rasmus or sell for Morris? I think Rasmus is fine and the fixtures are definitely there. So I'd probably keep him. Not seeing any early team news, which is a little bit of concern. Estepinian or Botman? Probably leaning more towards Botman. No more early team news unless someone else has got some from somewhere else. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Who is the best Chilwell replacement? Either one of the doublers, one of the Newcastle defenders. Matty Cash is my personal favourite that I'd potentially be going for. Hopefully Saka starts. I think Saka will start. Hopefully he will. Someone in the TikTok chat said there was early team news, but it seems like it's BS. I think Saliba will play. Adoji, Saliba, Estepinian, Burn, Botman. Want to play a back three. Who do I start? Probably Burn, Botman, and then Saliba. How do I order this bench? Cash, Visser, and Estu. Depends how many defenders... Well, you're playing 3 defenders, so I'd probably put Visser ahead of them, because if one of you defenders doesn't play, maybe if you've got Botman and you're potentially worried about him not playing, then that could work that way. But yeah. Zuma or Agard? I'd probably go Zuma. Mate. I'd probably go Zuma. Do keep liking the TikTok stream. It massively pushes it out to more people, which is always great and always what we want to see, as there are 5 minutes till the FPL deadline. So do keep your questions coming in ahead of the deadline. I see you, mate. I know I'm looking up there, but what do you have for breakfast? Well, I've just come off fasting while I was cutting, so I've just come off fasting. So I was having nothing, but now I will be going back to like a shake, which will be on stream next week, which is like oats, peanut butter, banana, and protein powder. Yeah. Makes you big. Gordon versus Burnley or Decore versus Luton. I think I'd go Gordon. I think he has that higher probability of getting an attacking return. Let's have one final scout before the deadline of any early team news. Just the Phil Foden and Julian Alvarez one so far. That is about it. That's a little bit frustrating. Jesus captain? Nah, I'd be going Morris or Haaland. Haaland at the top of that, by the way. Do I think Calvert-Lewin will start? I don't think he will. I think they'll still start with Beto. The quote from Sean Dyche was kind of around maintaining his kind of fitness at the moment. So I definitely think Calvert-Lewin will be on the bench. Yeah. With him starting midweek as well. I think he's going to be on the bench. 4 minutes till the deadline, guys. Make sure you're getting those teams locked in. Make sure you're getting your transfers locked in as well. My team is locked in place. Love to see it. Unless we get early team news that like Estepinian's benched. But it doesn't seem like we have a reliable kind of Brighton source, which is frustrating. Is the -4 worth it for Trippier? No, not personally. Saliba and Saka expected to start. I agree with that. I think they're both going to start ahead of the deadline. Do keep your questions coming in. We will stay live a little bit after the deadline as well if you want to ask me any questions about just general football chit-chat. But yeah, we'll stay live for a little bit longer. No worries, John. Mate. Any questions that you guys do have, I will try and answer. Team news for City. Diaz, Foden, Alvarez are all playing. And Foden. Did I say that? And Haaland. Haaland. They're the ones that are all playing. Oh, some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. Oh dear. What have people been commenting? I have captained Haaland. Unfortunately, Hugh, you cannot send me your team. If you want to whack it in the chat as quick as you can, that is the best thing that you'd do. Opinions on triple captain Haaland? Nah, I'd wait. We're probably going to get a double game week in 20 where we'll play Sheffield United and Brentford. That'll be the week to do it. That would be the week to do it. Any differentials? Anthony Gordon, Carlton Morris. They're probably my top differentials for this week that I would be looking to go for. Let's have one final scout. We've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes till the deadline. Let's have a look if there's any other early team news. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like we're going to get any early team news on that Brighton game. On that Brighton game. Botman or Cash? Probably go Botman, mate. I'll go Botman. Doku, we don't know anything about Doku yet. No news on Doku from reliable sources. Bench Estepinian for Cameron Archer? Nah. I'd play Estepinian still. Still play Estepinian. Good man, how long do you fast for? So it'd be till about 1 o'clock. I'd fast for. I've finished fasting now though. Today was the last day of fasting. But yeah. Eze or Estepinian? Thanks, mate. I would probably go Estepinian, personally. Son as captain for next game week. I think that's the plan I'm going to go with as well. Son captain for next game week is the plan that I'm potentially going to go for. We have 1 minute, like literally 1 minute till the deadline. So make sure your teams are locked in. What bogus team news are we going to get starting right at the end? Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully he does, Josh. Hopefully Morris does deliver. But you'll be in next week's stream giving me grief if he doesn't. We come to expect that. I think pretty much, guys, the deadline is like right there. If you're not putting your team in and locking it in right now, I think that's game. I think you're done. I think you're finished if that is the case. We're holding with my team for this game week. Hopefully it delivers as the clock does just strike 11. So if you haven't got your teams in, I think that's it. I think you're done. I think you're done, guys. So make sure you have had your team locked in. Good luck for this game week, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's going to be a big one with the double game weeks. We're going to stay live for a little bit longer. So if you have any generic football chat or kind of longer term FPL chat, we'll stay live for a little bit longer, asking any questions. I hope you do give me some grief next week, Josh, if he doesn't. It's just got to be done, mate. It's just got to be done. But yeah, we'll stay live for a little bit longer. Have a chat to any of you guys in the TikTok chat or YouTube chat or anything like that. We are trying to hit 2,500 subs over on the YouTube channel. So if you're on TikTok and you want to come and help us there, that would be absolutely amazing. 7.5 close on the TikTok as well. That would be great if we could hit that. Some absolute goats of these streams as well have been turning up. Luke, we've had Jeff, another absolute legend. Josh, he's been an absolute goat as well. Katie on the TikTok chat has been immense today, asking plenty of questions. What does my team look like? Off the top of my head, trying to remember it. Turner, Botman, Estepinian, Kabore, Mbuemo, Fernandez, Son, Maddison, Saka, Haaland, Morris. There you go. That is my team, Katie. Off the top of my head. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We will stay live for a little bit longer, asking any general FPL questions or just football questions, or if you've got any live questions, why not? Why not? Do keep them coming in and ask them. Ask away. Ask away, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an exciting game week. Lots of 3 o'clockers, so a lot of people in the UK aren't going to be able to watch the games, which is a disappointment. It's a big disappointment, isn't it? Because the TV deal definitely needs to be looked at. I know they're speaking about adding like an extra Sunday game, which just seems absolutely ridiculous to me. I think just have some 3 o'clockers. Yeah, Jack, I really hope Saka starts as well. If not, I'm a little bit mudded. Just a little bit mudded. Who keeps leaking the City team news? It is Lazy FPL and FPL Main Road are the ones who are leaking the City team news. They're the two goats to that. But yeah, thank you to everyone who has contributed in today's stream as well. If you do have any questions, Like I said, do keep them coming in. We're going to stay live for a little bit longer. Who's coming second in the Premier League? I think Spurs might. Rogue one, but Spurs or Liverpool. That'll be my shout for me. But yeah, we're going to stay live for a few more minutes. Ask any questions that you guys want to ask. Any questions, really. We're past the deadline, so you can just ask whatever you want now. It's just it, isn't it? Germany is love hearts. I really want to go to a Dortmund game. That is 100% something that I want to do in my life. Just trying to get tickets. Just hard. It's just really hard. I think I might eyeing up going to an Atlanta game around January time for my birthday, which will be cool. Which would be very cool to do. But we'll see. Maybe I'll film it again for the TikTok as well. Obviously, we filmed the Copenhagen experience, which was immense. I definitely want to do more kind of in real life football videos because they do really well and they're really fun to kind of do, and that's something that I definitely think we might see more on the TikTok. Maybe we make a separate YouTube kind of looking at more stuff like that over the summer when FPL dies down a little bit. Maybe just something to potentially think about. Unfortunately, mate, the FPL deadline has passed, so any changes that you do make now, well, you won't even be able to get on the app, which is very disappointing. But yeah, we're going to have the final call for any questions, FPL or football or anything like that related, and then we will wrap up the stream. Any final questions? If not, we're going to wrap up the stream. And I'm going to get some breakfast. Don't know what else. What else am I going to do? Oh, I need to go shopping today. Big Aldi trip. Pain in the arse. Absolute pain in the arse. I hate being an adult. Who do you think will win between Liverpool and Spurs? I think it's going to be a draw. I genuinely think it's going to be 2-2. I do think it's going to be 2-2. I think it's going to be a really, really entertaining game. Goal fest, 2-2 is my prediction for that one. What are people's plans for the day? Mine are to go shopping, watch the 3 o'clockers, film a video for later, for game week 8, then hit the gym, and then go to bed, because I'm knackered. Absolutely tired. It looks like we don't have any more questions, so we are going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching today's stream. If you want to come over to the YouTube channel, if you're on TikTok, subscribe to the channel. There's going to be plenty of FPL content for future streams as well. It does help if you're here because it's so much easy for me to read. But yeah, thank you very much for watching today, guys. I appreciate everyone who comments, follows, subscribes, all that good stuff. Massively appreciated by me. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, and good luck this game week. That is the most important thing. Good luck this game week.